Hello, and thank you for watching this video. Before it starts, I would like to mention that it does contain spoilers to a DLC that was recently released to the Dark Souls 2 community. If you're not up for spoilers, this video isn't for you. I am doing this on my strength build, I believe. What I call the Minotaur build, even though I haven't got the Minotaur helm yet. Been trying to farm for it, but just can't find it. I have 2 hours, 15 minutes of narration to do. This is going to be fun. This DLC, out of the two that have been released so far, for the most part, I tried to solo this entire area, which you will see that I do, up until certain bosses. Really didn't make sense to me, but I guess it works. I don't want to start this video by turning off a cliffhanger. That would be bad. Basically talking about the queen that took over and all that stuff. So, yeah. I have to say though, not only was this a challenging DLC, it's actually remarkably well done. It's all mobs that you have to fight through. Kind of questioning why I'm walking so slow, but maybe at the time it made sense. I thought here was, this can't be a boss already. Like, I just started this thing. That'd be nice. I never really caught on to what it said. I was wondering why I got a boss, or even though I hadn't found a boss. I still don't exactly know why, but I'm pretty sure from what I know that once you collect a certain amount of souls, it completes it. What I read on the description, with completed soul or HP boss. just like this all throughout the entire thing. It's kind of looking for an alternate path to see if there's anywhere else I can go before going back there. Didn't really want to die yet. If you see me randomly just start standing still, it's because later on in the video, it's because I was helping a friend through it as well, but he didn't listen to me. Still wasn't sure if I was I recorded these videos in 15-minute increments. Oh, and it looks like the audio is not working on this one, so what I'll do is add some music, I guess, to the background, because some of them, the audio didn't seem to want to record. I knew of 3 videos that didn't, so this one I thought had. Don't know what really to say to that. I've been having a few problems with this. It's just a basic Rogue CO game capture, nothing spectacular. I guess it's because it's a software that isn't really made for like heavy use, I guess. I'm not sure, but I'll find some way to make it more entertaining. I mean, as entertaining as a 2-hour video can get. That's actually the first pyromancy in here in the DLC. I think there's 2. that you can get total. So there's also a new hex, and the idiot me trying to open the door, not realizing there was a lever right there. So far, college has been fun. It's been nothing but me doing homework, sleeping, eating, doing the DLC, and then me editing it. Um, it's just been a lot of work. That is the most obvious illusionary wall, like, ever. Like, if you can't see that, you're blind. I can understand maybe if you didn't come down here, but if you come down here and don't see it, then yeah. I don't know why they gave you a two soul vessels there. Maybe to respec your build, play around with some things. Because I know I want to play around with the smelter hammer that I got after I finished recording. So that requires 70 strength, and like I think it doesn't require any dexterity, but seems pretty interesting. Wasn't sure what those things were, but the messages were telling me to try pyromancy. I had a flame enhanced weapon, so I was like, oh, this will be easy. Ended up exploding my face in. That was fun. I don't know how many people will actually sit through this entire video, but if you do, thank you for watching. Those things are so fun to kill. That was like my favorite thing. I don't know what I was trying to accomplish there. These things, they're interesting. This one had mostly killed himself on the fire, but he kind of roasted himself for me. Those barrels will not explode unless they pick them up. That's something interesting that I learned. Not only have I had problems with the audio, I've had problems with the recorder starting to record and then quitting after like 5 seconds. So if the video jumps really bad, I'll let you guys know that that's what happened, but there's only one instance that I can think of off the top of my head where that happens. Ladders are for the weak. Didn't realize there was a chest right there. So I was trying to get him out of the area before I continued to attack him. Stuttered. Before I continued to attack him because I didn't want to smash it. And never be able to get into it. Ever. I was kind of afraid that I might have accidentally hit it before and that second hit would smash it, but it was only like a stasis +5, but only the chosen undead could take a giant arrow to the arm and just look at it and nothing. I thought this was a boss. There are so many fog walls in this DLC that I thought was bosses. I was kind of hoping it would be Sir Alone. Or is it Alon? I'm not sure. I'll just keep saying it as Alon. But, it wasn't. It was kind of disappointing, honestly, that Sir Alon is actually the last boss that I fight in this entire DLC because I had such a hard time finding him. But he's probably my most favorite boss in this DLC, like, ever. So, never before in Dark Souls history have I seen so much nope in one room. And I think I spent the rest of the video pondering how I was going to conquer this. Um, I'm not entirely sure how I did it. I know that it required a lot of running around. So, yeah. I wonder if that counts as a special delivery. He walked to his friends when I shot him with an arrow and then he exploded them as well. I was thinking of all the enemies in the room and how I was going to deal with them. I was thinking about a different vantage point that I could take to do that better with. Thought about just dropping in there and killing everything. That would have been interesting. These, these videos would be so much more interesting if I could narrate them live because I know there was some funny lines that I said that I can't particularly remember. But if anybody else has Heroxy and is willing to share some live audio tips and tricks, that'd be amazing. Now here, I remembered in the Lost Bastille, the door by where you find Luke until you can jump attack and it'll explode like that. and you can open it. It's the alternative way to get the antiquated key and covetous silver serpent ring. As you can see, this is definitely a strength build. It really shouldn't be using basic bow. It should be using a great bow or crossbows, but that I only had my hunter's black bow. And this is when the fight begins. I was tired of just trying to do things randomly. I knew if I attacked that thing immediately, though, it would make my difficulties much more less difficult, I guess. I'm not completely sure when it does it, but I know here soon my thing freaks out about the recording, so you actually miss the entire thing of me clearing out that room and the giant Minotaur thing that's spewing fire. So, we might see some of it. That was luck. That was nothing but luck. I thought for sure I was dead here. Uh, Getting knocked off a ladder isn't any fun. Yeah, see, the video freaked out. All that happened was I killed the Minotaur and I beat that little hollow soldier thing going around. And there's a possessed simply put, guess I did fall off the cliff. I thought I did fall off the cliff. So... I don't remember this. I don't know. Now I remember this. This is the one that told me to sprint. This is a real player. I didn't know where he's from. Why would you make an NPC that wants you to run down the ladder, run down the stairs? Really? I mean, they're kind of famous for giving them the players, but this is like completely new. From him, I can tell that he was one of those weird tweet things, but I couldn't find it. I might have to investigate that way. Artorias's great sword, pretty much. If you equip it in your left hand, it will give you the moveset, I say with air quotes, of Artorias. The only thing you can do is this flip. If you hit the person in the face while you're midair, it'll stun them, and you can hit them with the drop. Especially if you're fighting somebody who doesn't have the DLC. I mean, even with the Witch to learn Milan, Greatsword, Katana, even with that, it's this is literally the center of the Iron Keep, from what I can tell. I have a hard time believing that this is the Iron Keep, but I guess it is. That is a big letdown on this DLC, though. I can understand that the Iron Keeps suck, but they cut out so much of it. If this is the Iron Keep, then I don't know where to be disappointed at. But they did include all this with the regular Iron Keep. They opened this up so much, which is kind of disappointing to me. Maybe I'm just making I beat the boss, which is what I should have done here, but this will take forever to upload to YouTube, so I don't know. This will take a long time to upload to YouTube. It's not counting the time it takes to save it. o'clock. And that one lasts until 10. So. Epic jump. Epic jump is epic. I don't know if you guys are going to approve of my musical taste because it seems like the audio is not working on this one either. I didn't notice it immediately because I'm listening to Pandora as I record this, but I mean, if you don't, you can always just ignore it. It's not going to be blaringly loud. I was kind of hoping you had like some infinity frames while you're doing this, but apparently you don't. Those are like little baby smelter demons, in my opinion. I mean, I like fighting them, but they're like little baby smelter demons. In my opinion, as I said. That's a really cool picture of one, though. As he was coming around that corner and how he was lit up. Kind of reminds me of pulling the lever right as a Bellbro invades. For the rather uncultured, a Bellbro is a bellkeeper, rigging that when they like as they invade, because it's kind of like you failed your one task, in my opinion. That's a. I'm pretty sure you might be able to read it, but it said pincer attack and then secret wall. I was figuring that my axe would be able to do it, but I don't know if that's an actual illusionary wall or not. Bonfire shortcut. I think, yeah, because I was like, oh, that's a boss ahead. It has to be a boss. Because it kind of reminded me of Artorias' room. So I'm like, oh, let's summon this guy. Because why not? But I decided not to, I think, eventually. Nope. I guess I do, but the summoning fails. Which is a constant problem through this DLC. It's almost as bad as Dark Souls 1 to a certain point. Because I don't know if I'll keep it, but there's going to be a death montage of me against Raim, which is also the Fume Knight, which I didn't realize that until after I beat it. Um, what, every time I tried to summon somebody, nothing. The only person who worked was Kerillian. And Kerillian's useless for that fight. I guess that's why he's called Kerillian, because he sounds like Krillin. And all the Dragon Ball Z fans will get it. It kind of reminded me of the Executioner's Chariot right here. I was kind of expecting something to come running around the corner and trying to kill me. I've heard people complaining about these guys, those things jumping at me, but I don't think I had one problem with them other than them doing something like that. I had no problems with them, is my opinion. Now, if you play, I don't know, I don't know what game it is that tipped me off that it would do that, but I made the connection that when they got up to scream and started sparkling like that, that they were going to explode. So I really didn't take much damage from them because of that, but and I think do really good up until the boss in this run, from my opinion. I'm really hoping I don't run out of time here and have to record again once I get back from college. I'm not. I think I have it timed to where I have enough time, but I don't know. If I was doing the full 3 hours, I wouldn't. Which the full 3 hours will come from when I upload the Smelter Demon and Suralon to YouTube. That's where the remaining of the 3 hours will come. I kind of had a facepalm moment right there. I'm like, really? I don't want to deal with this. You guys heard that laugh in the background? That was my cousin. She's like 8, I think. But I like how, I will be honest, I like how FromSoft is trying to make their invaders intelligent and act like actual not computers, like actual people. That's actually really cool that they're monitoring how people are going to be, how people fight. Because if you notice that some of the summons, like, I think it's one of the NPCs, when you summon them, they'll throw out a hello carving, and another one will bow to you. And Carillion, he bows to you, I know that. Um, the dragon guy from the fight with Sin, he will spam bow when you beat Sin with him. I'm not sure what the cleric does. I think the cleric casts heal before she goes, which is really cool in my opinion because that means they are monitoring how people fight, which makes me think that them buffing and nerfing weapons is them actually trying to change the game. Because you'll see that one weapon gets really popular in PvP, and then they'll be like, oh, well, it's not popular anymore because we just nerfed it into the ground. I think that's just really cool. And then with Dark Souls 1, I don't have any experience with the buffing and nerfing of weapons because I didn't have the online experience, nor did I get it when it was first released. But from what I've read, it was a similar situation with that. And Dark Souls 1 PvP, while it's a little bit laggy, is actually pretty good. Which makes me think that once they're like, oh, well, we're going to officially move on to our next project, they will balance out everything. Which would make this game infinitely better. It's not that this is a bad game. This is a really good game, and I mean, if you like difficulty, I suggest it to anybody. But it's the other players that ruin the game for you. Um, One of my first fond memories of Dark Souls 1 is where I got invaded, and I don't remember where I got invaded at. I know it was the Undead Parish, but I don't know it was who. I don't know if I was a host or if I was a phantom, but this guy, he got summoned into my world to invade and all that stuff. And I had a, yeah, I was the host. I had a summon with me. And at first I thought he was going to be friendly, yay, friendly. Because I knew that Dark Souls once does have their friendly invaders. Um, but I get a summon. My summons right as he's there, so I'm like, yeah, I gotta fight him. I have no other choice. So I start fighting him. We back him into a corner. He uses great combustion, I believe, and one shots me. That one was a fun one. And then there was another one, and I know for sure I was a summon on this one. We were waiting for Solera to be summoned, which, if you don't know who Solera is because you haven't played Dark Souls 1, you don't praise the sun. You may be an heir of the sun, but you don't praise. But, he was waiting on Solera to be summoned, and we hadn't even got the invasion message yet, but we both just dropped dead. And then the invasion message pops up along with the invader. I don't know if that was lag or what. I think it might have been because he spawned under us because we were standing over the top of the place where the invaders spawn in the undead keep. Undead keep. I was thinking of the undead crypt. The undead parish. I do remember when I tried to. It's okay. I don't remember it because it was maybe a month or so ago. But I started a low level build and stayed level 10. Yeah, I think I was level 10 throughout the entire game up until the Duke's Archives from. Yeah, up until the Duke's Archives because there was really no way I was going to get through there with the Pyromancer. Um, Without a summon, but I couldn't find any. But I got back to the Undead Parish and started invading at level 10. That was fun. I don't think I particularly one-shot anybody, but I got it close with a plus 10 ascended Pyromancy Flame. And they took a lot of features out of this game that I wish they had. Like, I can understand why you took out, like, Divine and Occult and Chaos upgrade pads and added Poison and all that stuff. I'm fine with that, but, like, I miss that you can ascend the Pyromancy Flame to be a more powerful Pyromancy Flame. They just added the Dark Pyromancy Flame thinking that would be sufficient, but it's They are, like, worshipping this fire right now, aren't they? I'll just explode all of you. Make my job infinitely easier. Just let them kill themselves. um, but I don't know. I really wish they would better explain the connection other than the curse to Dark Souls 1. Like, I've heard people say that, oh, well, it was not King Vendrick, that it was Solaire's reality, where Solaire decided to throw himself into the flame, and that King Vendrick is actually the chosen undead from the first game that took all the claim for Solaire's duty. Personally, I don't think the Vendrick is the chosen undead, just given off the fact that the way that I think this chosen undead would think is that he wouldn't want to become king after seeing what has happened to every other person who became a lord. I mean, honestly, if I was to see that all these lords, which are basically our kings, are going crazy, okay, they're not going crazy per se, but they're afraid. I guess is a better word for it. They're afraid of what's going to happen. What I don't know how to explain it. Like I have it all in my mind, but it's just hard to put into words. I just don't think that Vendrick is the chosen undead. Speaking of Vendrick, I still need to go check and see what he sees about getting the old Iron King's crown. There has to be something that he says. Actually, I think I've attacked him on this profile. And Vendrick is a pain to fight. I would have to get the old whip and all that. I beat him on my cleric profile. That one was actually a fairly interesting fight. I think I was pretty much naked, which I guess is a standard thing. Can't beat a boss, just take your armor off. There you go. It's how I beat my old Iron King the first time. I mean, my first strength build was a dual greatsword user, and Sam, which is my friend that I was talking about earlier, that I was helping through this area, um, she said that armor is pretty much pointless in that boss fight, and that I'd probably die my first time because I was going to solo him because MLG, all that stuff. Um, so I took off my armor but kept my swords equipped. Beat him on my first time. I was so proud of that. I did take some damage, but I didn't die. So, um, that guy right there, that guy's a jerk. He's using York's spear and the majestic greatsword. That guy's a jerk. And this is where the game gets infinitely confusing, in my opinion. They just have so much going on in this centerpiece right here that it's just like, I don't know where I'm going, but I'll just take this one and hopefully it does something. So, actually, I should have edited out made the death montage that I planned on before I did this, because that'll mess up the narration. And I don't feel like sitting quietly through the entire rain fight thing, but I might edit it out later. I don't know. I'll show the first fight, and then I'll stop the narration and resume it after I've edited all the dying. For my iFunny fellow chosen undeads, I guess, there's one that's doing like pitting bosses against each other. It's Commander Ornstein. I think knowing that Rame is the Fume Knight, putting him against Velstadt would be really cool, knowing the lore between the two. Um, that would be an interesting fight. I think Rame would win in the end because Velstadt is nowhere as hard as Rame is, but that might just be my opinion. Maybe they're each other's equals. It's just that Velstadt's like, oh, I'm not gonna fight you seriously, so I imagine Velstadt's that way. Kind of honorable, like, I'm defending my king like I have always done, but it's got to the point where it just doesn't matter anymore. I've killed so many people just to defend my king, but there's no point to do it anymore because he's so hollowed. He's not even technically alive himself. He has no free will. He doesn't know what he's doing. It would be better that you put him out of his misery. And the only way he could honorably cope with you putting the king out of his misery would be to kill Velstadt himself. Yeah, I just pulled that out of my hat, but if you think about it, if you think along the lines of honor, he was sworn to life of protecting the king. If he's dead, he doesn't have to protect the king anymore. Or maybe him dying is to protect the king, knowing that you will take the king down and put the king out of his own misery. Because Velstadt, knowing the king, knows that he wouldn't want to live in that fashion. Because if you know anything about the lore, King Vendrick, he was really strong, apparently, and he bare the weight of the undead. And when he found out that he was undead himself, the burden increased, but he got stronger. He found it in himself to be stronger. But eventually he died himself. If you think of that from the lore perspective, if Velstadt knew that the king was fighting that hard against the curse, only to succumb to it himself, maybe that is the honorable thing to do. Maybe it's the honorable thing to, even though the king failed in his task, not let him suffer to what he so desperately hated. I don't know, though. I'm not a big lore expert, but if you think about it, it does make sense to me. You'll hear me refer to the bosses as different names in this. I'll call the Theme Knight Rain because that's what he is, who he is. Um, you'll hear me call the Smelter Demon Smelly. I don't know why I call him Smelly, but I call him Smelly. And Sir Alan, my favorite boss in this DLC. Um, I was looking for him, and I was having so much troubles finding him. And I was just talking to people, and I was like, "Where art thou, Romeo?" And the name Romeo for Sir Alan kind of stuck, especially after I saw his entrance to the fight. I wonder if he can parry this guy. Seems like he could, but so I'll refer to Sir Alan as Romeo. Huh. Just noticed this one too. Audio's not working. I don't know if this is part of the three-part spectacular. I don't know if it's part of the three-part spectacular that is 45 minutes worth of pretty much muted audio. I don't know. I know it's going to take some time to do this, though. I'm just hoping to get the narration done before I have to go again. That was luck. I was kind of hoping that that would still be there. I mean, that'd be coming up, but, yeah. That was nothing but luck. Some of these videos I did cut short because I wanted to keep, it as close to it as I could. Um, like, keep it as close. I mean, like, keep the fights in full as much as I could. So, if the video jumps really oddly for some reason, then, yeah. I'll keep my first fight of the, Rain, and I'll include how I die in the, death montage, but other than that, I'm not going to make you guys sit through almost 2 hours, no, 2 hours, almost an hour of dying. If it's an hour, it might be about a half, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it. this area can actually turn into a gank really fast if you're not careful. I accidentally found that out, but I don't know if anybody's accidentally pulled out all three of these guys at once. I mean, they're not hard per se. I mean, I can kill them with taking minimal damage now, but it's that fighting three of them would be ridiculous. It's kind of like the Baldur Knights in Dark Souls 1 when you first come across them. They're not particularly hard, but in numbers they can be. If you have some experience, I guess they're not that hard, because I can fight two or three of them at a time now. But if I was to have done that when I first started, I would have died. Like, no problem whatsoever. I don't know if I'll use the songs that were on my Pandora or not while I was doing this. I think that'd be pretty cool because you'd have quite an array of rock. You would have. Some of them aren't really even rock in my considerations. They're punk bands. But, like Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco. Right now I'm listening to No One Like You by the Scorpions. There was an Aerosmith song on earlier. Um, Probably going to include a few other songs that I really like. I do believe that Imagine Dragons was on here as well. Their song Ready Aim Fire. So, I don't know. Overall, if I was to think about the DLC other than the the mobbing, but I don't know. I don't know. See, I didn't make this connection at first, but watching the video, watching the recording, I never noticed those bodies. I just kind of picked up the items without thinking about it. Those bodies appeared after the knights appeared. Okay, Tom Petty, you're getting skipped. You're okay and all, but I'm skipping you. Um, Overall, it was a fun DLC. It was really fun, really challenging. Um, I guess that it does make up for the difficulty that the Sunken King lacked, but because the Sunken King really wasn't even hard. Sin was kind of disappointing when come across him. This ring right here, I do believe it is the strength ring. What it does is increases your strength by 5. I guess it's good if you don't want to waste the points to get, like, the weapon I'm using, the Worm Great Axe, it takes 50 strength. However, if you did not want to get your strength to that, you could take it to 45 and wear the strength ring. I don't know if that's. I don't think that adds to the scaling any because I'm using a Fire Worm Great Axe plus 10. Um, I think it has either a B or A scaling and strength, but scaling in this game isn't that great. The video just skipped from what I saw. All that happened there was I died, basically. Um, what happened was I fell down a hole, and then I rolled trying to evade an enemy attack, and plummeted through the floor and had to fight like 7 of those skeleton things. The retextured one night, the Sanctum Knights. Yes, I say retextured because they look like retextured knights. I have an hour left. I will be literally recording this right up until I leave. However, I'll just finish the recording once I get home. I'll have a few hours to finish up the narrations, and all I want to do is finish up through the actually, thinking about it, there might be one fight I do show with him. I get the knight, I get Rain down to about over halfway on my own. I don't know if that was just a really good run for me, or if it was me picking up on his skill, like his movesets. I think that failed jump attack, you'll see that a lot with me. I use my PlayStation 4 remote, so the sensitivity on the R2 is a little bit, it's a hairpin. It triggers really easily. So you'll see a lot of failed jump attacks. Not sure if I die right here or not. I think I do. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I can't remember what I was thinking about, but there was a little bit of an interruption to the recording, so I cut out the part that I was interrupted at because it was me just standing at a bonfire. Really wasn't anything spectacular. I've said that a lot. I don't know. Oh, I was talking about the emotes that they should have kept. Like the point up, point down, the ones that I've already mentioned. But me saying that doesn't mean that I don't like the ones that are in Dark Souls 2. Um, I like the decapitate, the no way. Um, I like those. But one thing I missed from Dark Souls 1 was with the Praise the Sun, how you would start with your hands at the about chest level, and you would just lift them and get on your tiptoes and all that stuff like the normal Praise the Sun. But what people would do is take the emo and just play it over and over again, and it would look like they were bouncing their hands in front of them. I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know if that was just them playing the system or not, but failed jump attack. I thought that was pretty cool. Entertaining. Yes, collect the item while you're in the middle of a fight. Logic. And if you guys hear me refer to myself as Capra, it's basically just short for me referring to myself because I don't like putting my name out to the public like this. But Capra is my Capra underscore demon is my iFunny username, which is where a lot of the first time viewers will come from if they're willing to watch a nearly 2.5 hour video. And the most dangerous thing about these guys, while they would be a formidable foe normally, is the thing that spews fire on them. Because it seems like they're on a fairly regular pattern and you would be able to pick up on it, what they're going to do, but I mean, personally, I just think they'd be a lot more fun without those. And apparently, you can get the Minotaur helm off of them. And if you remember from the beginning to the beginning of the video, I referred to this as my Minotaur build. Um, what the original plan behind this build was that it was designed specifically for this DLC, was to use the Minotaur helm. But as you can see, I haven't got it, and I still haven't got it. I've been farming it. So, first experience with Mr. Rain. First experience. I don't know if I walk in there and get utterly destroyed or not, but I know I don't even know if the first experience is anytime soon, because I was wondering what those things were, and I could hear the warmth sound coming from them, so I'm like, oh, maybe they'll heal me. Yeah. I'm rather ignorant when it comes to this game. I give them the benefit of the doubt when they don't deserve it at all. I mean, if the Minotaur helm looks like it does on their shoulders, that'd be really cool for this build. It would look really nice on the build, which was one of the key things. Um, when the time comes along, I will be streaming Dragon Age Inquisition, and I do believe that I'll be streaming Bloodborne as well, as long as I'm not absorbed into college-related problems. Um, my Twitch, even though it's nothing spectacular right now, is FuelJockey152, and I've already done a few streams, but those were Infamous Second Son. Not really a stream-worthy game. There's not enough to the game, I guess, in my opinion, to stream it. Those were just trial runs, especially since I had already beat the game and it all lost all surprised me. I had already beat the game twice on both a hero and a villain. So those things are really ugly. I thought that quite a few times when I was stabbing them with my smelter wedges. But, yeah. See, I was kind of hoping for an early peek at the boss there. Like, you can get an early peek at the Dark Lurker before you fight him. I was kind of hoping for a similar situation with that, but I didn't get any. I don't know if those bulls respawn this time through. I haven't checked. It'd be a really nice place for farming them, though. I kept expecting one to pop out of nowhere. I was trying to make a sense of what that was. By looking at it, you can't specifically tell. It kind of looks like that giant golem thing from Pokemon. But they're all over the place. And if you were to try to think of it from a Dark Souls perspective, they kind of look like an iron golem without the hole through his chest. Kind of. Oh look, sounds bad. Must have cut to another video. Oh, look, a sign. I believe I was saying something around like, let's go, Corellia, let's go meet this guy or something. I'm not entirely sure. I say a lot of things. I was attaching as much healing items as I could to my character. Let's see how quickly he dismisses me. And it's a half an hour of me dying. helps a lot. Sorry for that. But I can remember because that kind of comes out with summons. But I got summons, which is surprising.
Thank you. Hello.
Very happy. Like you don't even understand. I had surprise bonus, but not really. This is a solo fight with the few knight. I didn't beat him, but I did pretty well. So, you know, can't argue. I have come to the conclusion that Rain dislikes chuggers. 3 out of 4 of the deaths in the death montage was when I got